right? Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Call Halayim Yahweh, Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashim Achak Radash, double honors to the apostles and elders at Great Millstone who taught us this truth. Honors and salutations to us at Seakim, throughout the four corners of the earth, laboring in honesty, sincerity, charity, and sound doctrine, and to the Akwathim and to the children, Salakia, that believe on the true names of the Father and the Son, which the Father's name is Yahweh, he exists. The Son's name is Yahweh Shai, he is the deliverer. All right, because he's going to deliver us out of this captivity that we're in. All right, my name is Ma'aka Allah, Bun Gad, Bun Yasharallah. I'm with the Watchman Philadelphia camp here in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. You know, and I was meditating on my way to work today and going over. I was reading the book of Romans, again, Romans 9, the 9th chapter. And I came, well, it just hit me because I'm always thinking about like how dudes in the world talk about, well, you know, Abraham was the father of Ishmael. So Ishmael was the firstborn. So he has to be the chosen and all that. Like, hey man, them dudes is off, man. You know? Cause that's a lot of that Islam stuff too. Cause they want their since they practice that, you know, they want him to be the chosen one. Like he was granted the kingdom. No, he wasn't. He was granted to be a nation, a great nation. You know, that's what he got. Cause that's why his name is Ishmael, which is Yasha Ma'ala, which he has heard of the power. All right, so he's heard of who? Yahweh, man. Did he follow Yahweh? No, he doesn't. But he's heard of him. Who did he hear of him from? His dad. Who was his dad? Abraham. You know? But even though he was born out of the loins of Abraham, Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai still didn't choose him. He wasn't the chosen from the beginning, man. He wasn't the chosen from the heavens, man. You know? Which I'm going to prove that now. Lord's willing that this lesson is edifying. I'll jump right into it. This is the book of Romans, chapter 9, and I'm going to start at verse 5. It says, Whose are the fathers, and of whom as concerning the flesh, Hamashiach came, who is over all, the Most High blessed forever. So, the Most High blessed who? Yahweh Shai, forever to be over all of Israel, man. All right? You have Yahweh Shai, all right? And Yahweh Shai is over all of Israel, man. All right? It says, not as though the word of the Most High have taken none effect, for they are not all Israel which are of Israel, neither because they are the seed of Abraham are they all children, but in Isaac shall thy seed be called. All right? So that right there is heavy. I'm going to read that again, man. Oh, I'm going to start at verse 6. It says, not as though the word of the Most High have taken none effect, for they are not all Israel, which are Israel. So you have dudes in Israel which know that they're Israelites. All right? They know that they're Israelites. But what do, man? They go teaching all these different false doctrines, falsehoods, you know? So that's not in the right doctrine, man. Okay? That's not the correct way to do, and they lead you astray. All right? But the elect, what are they going to do? They're going to spread the truth, man. No matter what. They're going to spread that truth. All right? So this is Romans again, chapter 9, verse 6. It says, not as though the word of the Most High have taken none effect, for they are not all Israel which are of Israel, neither because they are the seed of Abraham. All right, you see that? Neither because they are the seed of Abraham are they all children, but in Isaac shall the seed be called. All right, what Isaac's name? Isaac had, he begat who? Jacob. Which Jacob's name became what? Israel. Which is Yasharallah. He is the prince of the power. All right, who's the power? Yahweh. Okay? It says, neither because they are the seed of Abraham are they children, but in Isaac shall thy seed be called, man. All right? So let that sink in, man. Let that sink in. All right? It says, and then, so check it out. You had Ishmael, okay, which was born first before before Isaac. All right, you had Ishmael and Isaac, but you have what's his name? Ishmael was born first, but now normally back in the ancient times, though, the firstborn would be granted the birthright, will be granted all the promises. But with Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, he do what he want. He did the same thing with Ishmael, Salaki. He did the same thing with Jacob and Esau. All right, because Esau was actually born first. But who did the promise go to? Jacob. Okay. Verse 9 says, "For this is the word of promise." Do you hear that? It says, "For this is the word of promise. At this time will I come, and Sarah shall have a son." Okay? I'm going to read that again, verse 9. "For this is the word of promise. At this time will I come, and Sarah shall have a son." All right? So check it out. Salakia. All right, so check it out. To back up that scripture, we go to Genesis chapter 17 and 19. It says, "And the Most High said, Sarah thy wife shall bear thee a son, indeed, and thou shalt call his name Isaac. And I will establish my covenant with him for an everlasting covenant, and with his seed after him," man. All right? With his seed after him. Okay? Matter of fact, let's keep going to 21. Now here we go. Now this is my point when I said something about Ishmael. All right? Now, and I said the word Ishmael goes to the Hebrew word is Yasha Ma'ala, which means he has heard of the power. All right? So this is Genesis 17 and 19. It says, "And as for Ishmael, I have heard thee. Behold, I have blessed him, and will make him fruitful, and will multiply him exceedingly. 12 princes shall he beget, and I will make him a great nation." So that was Salakia. That was Ishmael's blessing. Okay? So you have the 12 princes, and he said he will Salakia. I'm gonna read that again. Verse 20 says, "And as for Ishmael, I have heard thee." All right? So the Lord heard him. Why? Because, that was still Abraham. Abraham was Yahweh Shah man. So he like, man, I heard you. But you listened to your wife, but that wasn't the child that I gave you. So you go back into the 19th verse. All right? He says, "And I will establish my covenant." He said, "Thou shalt call his name Isaac." Going halfway through the verse, it says, "Thou shalt call his name Isaac, and I will establish my covenant with him for an everlasting covenant, and with his seed after him." So anybody that comes from Isaac, the seed of Isaac, that's who the Lord made the covenant with, And they're the children of what? Promise. So the promise that the Lord gave, Isaac, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Okay? Well, Yahweh Shem Shah gave them the promise. Okay? Not these other nations. And then you had the confusion of faces, which that's a whole another topic too. All right? It says, "And as for Ishmael, I have heard thee. Behold, I have blessed him, and will make him fruitful and multiply him exceedingly. 12 princes shall he beget, and I will make him a great nation. But my covenant will I establish with Isaac, which Sarah shall bear unto thee at Salakia, at this set time and next year." So, hey, the angel came and told him exactly what's going to happen, man. All right? So it ain't going no, it's no going against Yahweh by Yahweh Shah, man. All right, so going back to Romans chapter 9, verse 9 again, since you don't know, back it up, got more clarity. It says, "For this is the word of promise, at this time will I come, and Sarah shall have a son. And not only this, but when Rebekah also had conceived by one, even by our father Isaac." All right, so who Rebekah? Let's check this out. Going back to Genesis. All right, gotta take everything back to the beginning. So Genesis, the 25th chapter, start roughly about. Okay, here we go. Now this is to back that up. This is Genesis chapter 25. I'm gonna start at verse. Verse 19. It says, "And these are the generations of Isaac, Abraham's son. Abraham begat Isaac, and Isaac was 40 years old when he took Rebekah to wife, the daughter of Bethuel, the Syrian of Padanaram, the sister of Laban, the Syrian. And Isaac entreated Yahweh Bashem Yahushua for his wife, because she was barren. And Yahweh Bashem Yahushua was entreated of him, and Rebekah his wife conceived, and the children struggled together within her. And she said If it be so, why am I thus? And she went to inquire of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. And Yahweh Bashem Yahushua said unto her, 2 nations are in thy womb, and 2 manner of people shall be separated from thy bowels. And the one people shall be stronger than the other people, and the elder shall serve the younger." So check this out. They wasn't twins, they were brothers. Ishmael and Isaac were brothers, they had different mothers, but Jacob and Esau had the same mother, and they came out of what? They came out of Isaac, out of the loins of Isaac, man, his seed. But out of that, the Lord only chose what? One of his seeds, man. Okay? Which was who? Jacob. It says, "And when her days to be delivered were fulfilled, behold, there were twins in her womb. And the first came out," well, we all know this. All right. It says, "And the first came out red all over like a hairy garment, and they called his name Esau. And after that came his brother out of his hand, Salaka, and his hand took hold of Esau's heel, and his name was called Jacob. And Isaac was threescore years old when she bare them." All right. So that right there, man, that's heat. Okay. So that goes into that. All right. Those 2 seeds, which came from Isaac, but Jacob was the chosen one, the child of promise, man. All right. Back in Romans chapter 9, verse 11, it says, "For the childbearing, not yet born, neither having done any," Salakia, "for the children being not yet born, neither having done any good or evil, that the purpose of the Most High according to election might stand, not of works, but of him that calleth." So, hey, man, them children ain't do nothing. All right, they was elected from what? Before the womb. Okay? In the spirit world. All right? They was elected in the spirit world. The Lord was like, "Yo, this who I choose. And your time to be appointed is this, that, this time, that time, that time." All right? Because the Lord is precise with everything that he does. And it's not up to us. What it say? "Trust in Yahweh Bashem Yahushua with all our heart, and lean not to your own understanding," man. All right? Because he does things the way he want to do it. What he says, "My thoughts are not your thoughts." He said, "My ways are not your ways." He said, "As heaven is from the earth, so is his thoughts are far from yours," basically, roughly paraphrasing. I hope I ain't butchered too much, But yeah, man. So the Lord does what he wants to do, man. All right? So, matter of fact, what's the scripture? So, I'm going to find it real fast. Here we go. Come. All right, this is Jeremiah chapter 1 and 5. To back up that, because the children had done no wrong in the womb. No, it says before the children did any right or wrong or any works, they was already elected, man. You know, they was already elected to come and do the Lord's bidding of what He had ordained for them. All right. So this is Jeremiah chapter 1 and 5. It says, "Before I formed thee in the belly, I knew thee, and before thou camest forth out of the womb, I sanctified thee, and I ordained thee a prophet unto the nations." Okay. So you could tie that in, but we'll go back to Romans 9:11. It says, "For the children being not yet born, neither having done any good or evil, that the purpose of the Most High according to election might stand, not of works, but of Him that calleth." Okay, so what it tells you too, it says, "Many are called, few are chosen." All right, so we talking about what? The children of promise, man. All right, that's what I think I'm gonna name this video, the children of promise, which all Yasharala are the children of promise, man. You know, but you have your elect, you have your 1/3, and you have your 2/3. Okay, which your elect are 144,000 men, 12,000 out of each tribe, which are the prophets of Yahweh, Yahweh Shah. All right, and your 1/3, which are the women and children that believe. All right, and your 2/3 is the niggas that just, they have to be put to death and come back in the kingdom in their right mind, but they're gonna come back to shame because they deny who their power is, man. All right, but verse 12 it says, "It was said unto her, the elder shall serve the younger, as it is written." All right, I think we've gone too far. But I'm going to read this anyway because we mentioned Esau too. But it says, "As it is written, Jacob have I loved, but Esau have I hated. What shall we say then? Is there unrighteousness with the Most High? Most High forbid. For he saith to Moses, I will have mercy on whom I will have mercy, and I will have compassion on whom I will have compassion. So then it is not him, Salakia. So then it is not of him that willeth, nor of him that runneth, but of the Most High that sheweth mercy." So, you could try to run to the truth, like, "Oh, I know y'all telling the truth," and try to run up to a dude telling the truth. And the Lord like, "I'm not dealing with you, fam." All right? He say He'll have mercy on whom He will. He'll have compassion on. So you could be like, Lord willing, I'm one of the men. All right? You're the one that willeth it. You're the one that want it. You saying, "Lord willing." All right? It says, "Nor of him that runneth, but of the Most High that sheweth." So it's up to the one that's going to shew you that mercy. And who can shew anybody mercy? Yahweh, Yahweh Shah, man. That ultimate mercy. That exemption from judgment. Okay? The children of the promise, man. That's who He's going to have that mercy on. Starting with His elect. All right? You other nations, this don't concern you, man. This don't concern other nations. All right? It says, "So then it is not of him that willeth, nor of him that runneth, but of the Most High that sheweth mercy." All right? Matter of fact, I'm going to read this one. It says, "For the scripture saith unto Pharaoh, even for this same purpose have I praised thee, have I raised thee up, that I might shew my power in thee, and that my name might be declared throughout all the earth," man. All right? So His name shall be declared throughout all the earth. That's why Yahweh Shah works the way He works, man. They work the way they work. All right? To show everybody the power like He did way back then in the ancient times. He's about to do it again. He going to show you who He has mercy on. He going to show you who He promised to be the elect, who've been elected from before they was in the womb, man. Before they even came here. They were elected, they were selected or elected in the spirit world, man. All right? Verse 18 says, "Therefore have He mercy on whom He will have mercy, and whom He will harden, He hardeneth," man. All right? So He doing that to a lot of niggas now. He harden them. He harden these other nations because since they've been in rulership so long or whatever, they thinking that, you know, like we ain't never gonna lose power. We always gonna be in power. Okay, that's not the case. All right. So like I said, man, I'm gonna title this lesson, "The Children of Promise," man. All right, because that's who we Israelites are. But 2/3 are gonna have to see demise or destruction right here in Babylon, aka Babal, aka Sodom and Egypt. All right. And with that, I hope that this lesson was edifying. I hope it made sense. You know, until the next lesson, I'm going to say, Shalom, Yasharal, we almost out of here, and death to America. Shalom.